The ocean was silent, as if it had forgotten how to breathe, and in that silence, the first warning came. Not in alarms or flashing lights, but in the subtle vibration that ran through the hull of the human observation vessel Horizon Sentinel, a tremor too precise to be natural and too deep to be anything man-made. And before anyone could fully comprehend the magnitude of what was happening, the waters erupted in darkness, and shapes larger than mountains surged from the abyssal trenches below. Ancient leviathans, long believed to be myths, rose with eyes that glowed like molten stars, and tentacles that stretched wider than entire fleets of alien warships. Humanity's reconnaissance team froze in awe and terror as the first alien vessels appeared on the horizon, sleek silver constructs designed to obliterate with precision. Yet as they moved closer, the Leviathans reacted not with random aggression, but with intelligence and understanding older than the Earth itself. And then it began, the slaughter. The alien armada fired plasma cannons and energy beams into the deep water, but every strike was met with a counterforce no human weapon could replicate. Leviathans smashed ships with tentacles that could crush hulls like paper. They sent waves of water so massive that entire formations capsized. And yet, amid this chaos, humans remained inside their vessels, observing, recording, and calculating how survival was even possible. Because in the face of ultimate terror, they were not frozen in fear, they adapted, using sonar patterns and tactical evasions, and every new movement from the Leviathans seemed to be a response to human understanding, as if they recognized intelligence as a force to be reckoned with. The crew of the Horizon Sentinel could feel the pressure of the water and the weight of history all at once, because this was not just a battle of brute strength, it was a lesson in evolution and strategy. And as the aliens attempted to regroup, they realized that conventional attacks were futile, that every assault was anticipated, countered, or obliterated. And in that realization, horror swept through their ranks more than the physical destruction, because they had never faced a species capable of thinking while fighting with the sheer scale of gods. And then came the moment that would define the ocean for all time. One Leviathan, larger and older than the rest, with scars from battles humans could barely imagine, moved toward the lead alien vessel and wrapped its tentacles around the ship, slowly, deliberately, almost ceremoniously. And for a moment, time itself seemed to pause, because the humans aboard felt that pause not as relief, but as an understanding of the power surrounding them. The Leviathan did not crush the alien ship immediately. Instead, it flexed, tested, squeezed gently, and then released a pulse of energy through the water, a warning not just to the aliens, but to anyone who dared underestimate the planet's guardians. The humans recorded every second, every sound, every reaction, because they understood that what they were witnessing was history. The aliens panicked, trying to retreat, but the Leviathans coordinated among themselves, using sonar waves and subtle currents as signals, creating a living trap in the abyssal depths, every movement calculated, every strike deadly. And humans maneuvered through the chaos, using tiny subs and drones, slipping between massive tentacles and destroyed vessels, witnessing the scale of the battle in awe and terror alike. The aliens launched experimental weapons designed to incapacitate the Leviathans, but the deep beasts seemed almost impervious, sensing the vibrations and countering with shock waves and crushing attacks that no material could withstand. And as the battle raged, a human scientist discovered patterns in the Leviathan's movements, a rhythm, a logic to the chaos, suggesting the creatures could communicate not only with each other, but possibly with humanity if approached correctly. And then came the most horrifying moment. The aliens released a massive orbital cannon, targeting both humans and Leviathans indiscriminately. And the crew braced for annihilation, but the Leviathans reacted in unison, rising to the surface as the waves grew into mountains, absorbing the kinetic energy, deflecting beams, and protecting humans, not because of alliance, but because they recognized intent.
because humans were not blindly attacking, but observing, learning, adapting, and it terrified the aliens that their most advanced technology was meaningless against forces they could not comprehend. And the humans realized that in this moment, the ocean itself was alive and protective. It was a sentient battlefield where intellect, courage, and the sheer audacity of humanity had carved a place among beings older than the stars. And then the Leviathans began to systematically dismantle the alien armada, sending tentacles that ripped ships in half, while tidal waves capsized fleets, and sonic pulses shattered alien shields one by one, leaving nothing but wreckage and burning water. The humans watched from their subs and research vessels, taking data, recording every pattern, every sound, because in this chaos they realized humanity had not only survived, but witnessed a cosmic judgment older than any legend. And yet the Leviathans spared them, letting them observe the terror, as if saying, "You are small, fragile, mortal, yet your courage is noted." And the aliens screamed through communication waves, trying to coordinate counterattacks, only to find themselves anticipated, trapped, destroyed by forces they could not fathom. And as the last alien vessel attempted escape, a Leviathan surged from the depths, grabbing it and dragging it under, crushing it in seconds, while the humans could only watch, horror and awe blending together as reality bent around creatures that had ruled the oceans long before stars burned in the sky. And the ocean itself seemed to hum with power and intent, as if it recognized the humans who dared to witness without panic, who observed without aggression. And in that horrifying and majestic moment, the humans understood that they were tiny but intelligent observers in a world alive with monstrous, ancient judgment, and that survival would demand more than courage. It would demand understanding, adaptation, and respect for forces older than civilizations themselves. And as the Leviathan sank back into the abyss, leaving the surface calm again, the humans whispered in disbelief, knowing they had recorded history. The aliens had learned a lesson about intelligence and audacity. The ocean had sent a warning, and humanity had survived the most terrifying day it would ever face, all because they watched and learned and dared to witness the Leviathans. And even as the waters calmed, the horizon shimmered with the faint glow of Leviathan eyes, watching, waiting, evaluating the humans that dared witness the Leviathan's wrath. And the aliens that had underestimated Earth's true guardians had learned a lesson they would never forget. The ocean was alive, it was intelligent, and humanity had not only survived, but proven that even in the presence of titans and cosmic invaders, cleverness, courage, and a refusal to surrender could make mortals into legends. And as the waves subsided and the horizon shimmered with the faint glow of Leviathan eyes, humans whispered to each other, realizing that the abyss held secrets older than stars, and that the ocean would always judge who was worthy. And those who had dared watch the destruction of the alien armada by creatures older than time itself now carried a terror and a wonder in their hearts and minds that could never be erased. And the story of that day would echo across generations, reminding everyone that the deep ocean was not a place to conquer, but a force to respect and fear, and that humanity had survived not because of strength, but because they understood, observed, and dared to witness the Leviathans, and the Leviathans had acknowledged them. And somewhere deep beneath the waves, the pulse of the ocean carried a warning to all who would challenge it, a message older than history, more terrifying than any alien weapon. And the humans, trembling and awestruck, recorded every moment, knowing that one day this footage would show the galaxy that intelligence, bravery, and respect for forces older than civilization could survive where raw power always failed.